The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, what's up, and welcome everybody. This is Josh Schoenly, co-founder of Client Alchemist, and we've got a great call today. You're in the right place if you're looking for the free training class on how to replace Zillow, attract the best and most qualified leads, and control the conversation in your real estate market. We've got a really special guest today, which in a minute I'm going to take some time and introduce. But before we do that, some housekeeping items, please. If you could, let me know in the Q&A box if you can hear me, and see the screen okay. And Trevor has been kind enough to share his webcam as well.
Got my webcam, man.
Yeah. So, and we'd love to hear where you are listening from. Trevor is, I'm on the East Coast, just outside of Harrisburg, and Trevor is on the other coast in Oregon, Lakeland, Florida. Good. Yes, all good. Southern California. Thank you, Debbie. Perfectly. Harleysville, PA. All right, I know Harleysville. Utah. Bob in Atlanta, right on. Del Mar, California. West Virginia. So all over, which is awesome. Really good stuff. All right. So that's number one. You can hear us. You can see the screen. That's a good start. Number two, make sure that you remove any and all distractions. So put your phone on vibrate, close down other browsers, especially social media. You don't want to be getting distracted by any of that. Close your door, maybe even lock it, and give Trevor your undivided attention for the next hour or so. And I promise you, at the end of that time, you're going to have a plan of attack for you for the remainder of this year and even beyond. But the only way you're going to get that value and be able to really complete that work is if we have your undivided attention and you do the exercises that Trevor is going to take you through. So if you haven't already downloaded the worksheet that was on the confirmation page, don't worry, we'll give you a link to do that so you can follow along. If you have already done that and you've printed it out, you're an overachiever, so kudos for that. And make sure you have that handy right now. So grab a pen and paper, because we're going to work through that together. And then the last thing I'll say before I introduce Trevor and turn it over is that we will stay on for as long as possible at the end for Q&A, because I'm sure there's going to be some great questions, knowing what this topic is and what we're going to walk through. I'm quite certain there are going to be some great questions. So I'll play the moderator role there, and Trevor will stay on and answer those. So Trevor Mauch is the founder and CEO of a company called Carrot.com. And what Carrot does is it provides websites primarily to real estate professionals and initially to real estate investors that follow one of our best practices at Client Alchemist, which is how to turn traffic, eyeballs, visitors to your site into leads. That was their goal, is to help real estate professionals get more prospects, more leads from traffic that they generate. And he's been able to build a large and extremely successful company in a very short period of time by using the very process that he's going to walk you through today. Now, it's different for us as real estate agents. The content and some of the things are a little bit different, but the big picture, the process is exactly the same. And the reason why that's important and relevant is that because this isn't theory, this is something that Trevor has personally lived through, and built a company around, and has now been helping real estate investors for quite some time, many years, and real estate agents for the last year to 18 months with tremendous success. He's married. He's got 3 kids. He's a slacker. He's got one less than people here in the Schoenly household. And he's been he's been given many awards. For example, the Portland Business Journal 40 Under 40 in 2017. He's started a co-work space that has become incredibly popular in downtown Roseburg in Oregon. Just an all-around really great guy. And here's the last thing I'm going to say about him. The reason why he is on with us today is because his heart is to help. There are, sadly, a lot of people in our industry, a lot of companies in our industry whose existence is to get into our pockets. And Trevor is someone whose beliefs and mindset and so forth really align with what we believe in, which is truly helping you, our listeners, ourselves, real estate professionals, to build a business that is that is more predictable, more scalable, and more pleasurable, a more pleasing way of doing this business. And so I could not be more excited to have Trevor on. I've been waiting for this one myself, and I'm going to be taking notes and working through this process just the same as all of you. So with that said, our special guest, Trevor Mauch, I'm going to go ahead and move to moderator role and take feverish notes along with all of you.
Cool, Josh, man, I appreciate the intro, and dude, it was an amazing intro, and I'm excited to be on here, man, because I know we connected years and years ago, so
yep.
And we've had lots of talks, and I think this webinar has probably been 6-8 months in the making as far as aligning stuff, and I think it's perfect timing, honestly, because like you were saying, for the past 5 years we've been growing Carrot as a business, but for the previous 5 to 8 years before that, I was honing all of these processes and systems just kind of in the field, as a consultant for my own real estate business, for other clients and things like that. But it hasn't been like until the last 12 months that we've really challenged ourselves to go, okay, cool. How do we condense this into a better framework? How do we condense this into a better framework and better system that we can get to people to more easily understand and deploy in your businesses? So it's perfect timing, man. Literally the framework that everyone's getting to download today. If you haven't already downloaded, we're going to give you a link here in a second. Like I said, the framework that everyone's going to download today in the worksheet, I've been working through with some really high-level real estate agents with that the past 6 months, and we just got that worksheet done about 4 weeks ago. And so you guys are some of the first people to really see outside of our private clients, which I'm pumped about, man. So I appreciate the invite on this. And also, I'm always humbled whenever people share their audience with us. I'm out there just to drop a bunch of education on y'all, and hopefully you guys, like Josh said, will take notes here. There's way more that I'm going to be showing you today than you're actually going to be able to actually implement today. So don't feel like you have to complete all of the parts of the exercise today, which we'll be doing that about halfway through, because we are going to be just kind of walking through and showing you how that we'll be able to go fly alongside you when you implement this process later, for the rest of the year. Towards the end of the call, we'll say, hey, here's how we can help you do that if you want help with it. Otherwise, you can just take our framework and go do it. But this is called the Carrot Authority Builder. How to replace Zillow, attract the best, most qualified leads, and control the conversation in your market. Now, I'm probably not going to be keeping my screen on the whole time. I just thought I'd turn it on for the start. But if you guys want me to, I totally can. If you guys like that, otherwise I can turn that off. So just the slides are the big part. But we're kind of at a really interesting time in the real estate industry, y'all. And I've got a unique perspective on it coming from the real estate investment industry. We've helped more real estate investors over there attract leads online, close more deals than any other company in the world as far as inbound marketing goes, for the top real estate investors in the market. So we've been seeing millions of leads of motivated house sellers, buyers, tenants, things like that come through our system over the past 5 years. And now like Josh said, the past 12 to 18 months, we've been working with agents a lot because we had a big overlap on our user base. We're probably about 30% of our user base. We're out there flipping a bunch of houses, buying a bunch of land, developing things like that. And then they were also real estate agents or brokers. And they were coming to us saying, hey, this process is working so good over here. How can we deploy this on the agent side, which is when we kicked that into high gear about 18 months ago. And so with that perspective of a massive foot in the real estate investment space and then tons of experience on now the retail side, we see some really interesting things that you guys need to be aware of when you're planning out how to grow and sustain and be relevant in the next 3 to 5 years. So here's one thing. I was looking up some research the other day. We've all seen this, right? We've all seen the amount of investment that's going into technology right now in real estate. Tons of different startups are starting up, tons of different venture funds are there just for what's called prop tech. And this is exciting. It's exciting because it's making a lot of the things that we're doing as real estate professionals more efficient, but also it's causing some disruption, right? You see some companies like Open Door or OfferPad or Zillow is starting to switch their model now to where they're looking at buying houses as one of their primary models. Now, a lot of agents are kind of in the anti-Zillow framework of going, well, shoot, why should we pay Zillow when they're going to take us, when they're aiming to take us out of business? I'm going to show you guys some ways that we're actually helping agents beat Zillow in the Google rankings to take the leads that they're getting. If you think about how Zillow grew, they grew through Google search, through getting in front of people with good content, adding value, and then building this ecosystem. And we said, well, if we can help agents do the same thing but better, build authority at a local level, become the trusted authority, the trusted expert on your niches, and possibly beat Zillow, Realtor.com, all those things in Google, and then amplify it with paid marketing on Facebook, just like Josh is so amazing with, then I think we can help you guys gain a massive advantage going ahead. So my promise on this particular call anyway, we had to kind of break it down and go, what can we do in an hour and a half? Number one is detail the 2 critical industry shifts that are happening right now and how they'll impact you guys as real estate agents. There's some amazing opportunities there, but also I know some agents personally who are burying their head in the sand and thinking that the things aren't going to change the way I believe that they will. And those people that do bury their heads in the sand and don't get ahead of the times with the change, I think you're going to be looking back in 2, 3, 4, 5 years going, man, that came out of nowhere. My business got cut in half, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to help you guys with that. So promise number 2, we're going to lay out that carrot authority framework that's going to help you to have a marketing plan, to have a plan to build authority and really win in your market. And it's going to help you stand out because a lot of these technology platforms are amazing with automating things. I'm going to bring up a couple examples here in a bit, but if we're just focusing on automation, y'all, if we're just focusing on the new amazing IDX feature, or the automated Facebook ads, or whatever it is, we're losing the chance to stand out. And if you're a Keller Williams agent, which there's probably a bunch of Keller Williams agents on here, there's an amazing new platform called Command. It's great. But what if every other Keller Williams agent in your market's also using Command? You're not going to stand out. I'm going to show you guys how to stand out against everybody. Promise number 3 is give you very specific actions that you can do this month, like this month, to start building momentum. Beat Zillow in your niche phrases and start to get those leads that they're getting so you don't have to pay them for those anymore, and really build authority so you can gain momentum. So I'll turn off my camera here in a minute after I kind of do an intro, and we'll dive into the meat of it. But imagine that you were, so I'm here in Southern Oregon. I'm in Roseburg, Oregon, small town, 25,000 people. And one of the amazing parts of town, we have 2 rivers that run through town. And the North Umpqua River is kind of the high-end river. That's where the fancy houses are. There's a east part of town. There's a west part of town. The prices vary depending on where you are. But if you're a real estate agent who has an expertise in North Umpqua River homes, like my friend, the G team does, they're a client of ours. They come and work out in my office gym 3 times a week, and we get to chat real estate all the time. They helped me buy my house on the river, and I ended up working with them because they're experts in it. Now, the problem with it was, the only reason I knew that they were experts in it is because I knew them personally. But if I went to Google and started to look for river homes, I never found them online until they started working with us. And so if you Google right now, North Umpqua River homes for sale, or any phrase around that, originally they were on page 2 or page 3. None of their primary prospects, those really valuable buyers and even sellers, were ever finding them online. You had to learn about them in person from a personal referral. But now, after implementing what I'm going to be teaching you guys in this call, they're outranking Zillow for all those phrases with that niche, and some other ones are really starting to climb as well. I'll show you guys real examples exactly. I'm going to tell you exactly how it was done, and you guys can replicate the same thing. And this is what's happening from it. They're getting leads of people that are specifically highly motivated, looking for those niches. Now, the cool thing about this, y'all, is this builds momentum. Okay, a lot of the Facebook marketing we're doing, we love Facebook. We love to amplify your content on Facebook. That's really where we have found Facebook really adds tons and tons of value. Facebook is amazing. But where you get momentum, y'all, is from inbound marketing. It's from Google search. I'm going to be going into that a little bit. It's from people seeking you out. And if you can imagine, you post a bunch of Facebook posts, they go away within a day or 2, they get pushed down. You get your ads running, follow Josh's training to really dial in the ads, or work with them to have them run them for you. But on the Google search side of things, it's evergreen. That's evergreen. That's going to be there for a long, long time. And you're going to start pulling in really targeted leads just like those. And here's a few other examples. Mary Ellen Troilo, right here, she said, I thought I'd share a win for the week. This is actually in a partner of ours. She's an amazing real estate coach, and they've been implementing a lot of the processes and similar things that we're doing here. She said, I double entered one of my closings. She said she has seen all of my marketing I've been doing on the property and decided to move forward. The biggest part of the win is that she saw my niche videos about waterfront property, and she's asked me to list her $850,000 waterfront property. So if you look at the commission on that, that's gonna be, what is that, a $15,000 to $20,000 commission, because she put up videos and she put up content showing she's an expert. Jacqueline here, 4 listings this last week, 3 coming up so far. People are starting to notice. What are they starting to notice? They're starting to notice her content that she's putting out to build authority. And here's Tyler Ford, an investor and an agent down in Tucson, Arizona. And he was getting ready to give up real estate about 1.5 years ago. He had some hard times. He wasn't able to stand out. And then he made the same shift I'm going to be talking through on this call before we actually had the Carrot Authority Builder framework. He had to do it the hard way. You guys get a better framework for it. And he said, my goal for the year was $200,000 in profits, and he's already passed that. Now, when he said that, that was in about April when he said that. So he already passed that about 1/3 of the way through the year, when his yearly profit goal was $200,000. So those are some of the things. He's an EXP agent. Those are some of the things that we're going to be walking through. And the key to all this, y'all, the key to all this, Josh said at the start of the call, we want to help you guys build consistent, predictable, momentum building lead flow. That's the aim. When you have consistency, when you have predictability, when you have momentum, that puts you in flow. Like, as an entrepreneur, I think all of us, if we really think about when we're enjoying our businesses the most, it's when we're not stressed out about where the next paycheck is going to come from. We're not stressed out about, oh my gosh, how many leads am I going to get next month? It's when things are consistently growing, when they're predictable. You can predict a month out, 2 months out, 3 months out about how many leads and about what your business is going to be, because you have systems set up that help build momentum, building lead flow. When that happens, you can finally enjoy your business. And I've experienced that personally on both sides of it, where I've had a boom and bust business model. I was stressed out all the time, and I never felt good to go out there and take a 2-week or 3-week or a month-long vacation. Once I started to switch my business model around, rather than marketing that kind of ebbed and flowed, I picked marketing and started to build momentum, which was led by content, and you amplify it with paid following Josh's training. That's when I started to get freedom in my business. That's when I started to get flexibility, when I could take a month off and the business would be just fine, because I know next month about what my income is going to be within a 10% variance because of the way I'm doing my marketing. And that's what I want to build for you guys. And who on this call would love to be able to predict your income in 2 or 3 months within a 10% variance, because you've nailed your marketing and made your marketing more consistent and momentum building rather than kind of one-off marketing. So what I want you to do first, we're going to be going into this in a little bit on the call. Go to carrot.com/authority. carrot.com/authority. What it'll do is it should just bring up the PDF version of this. I want to get this in you guys' hands early. And it's not going to take you to a page. It's going to straight up take you to this PDF here. So grab this, because you're going to need this here in a little bit. But I'm going to kind of set the stage before we dive into that. So like Josh said, I'm Trevor, CEO, founder of a company called Carrot. And we've grown pretty fast using these methods I'm going to be teaching here. And the cool thing is, if you have a plumbing business, if you have a yarn business, I don't care what kind of business it is, this stuff I'm going to be teaching you works in all those businesses. We're doing this with the software company, and we hit the 699th fastest growing company in America on the Inc. 500 list. We're the fastest growing software company in Oregon using these exact strategies, which is pretty cool. A little over 5,500 active members, almost 6,000 active members, millions of leads. And yes, it's ironic. I have a company called Carrot, and the only food I'm allergic to is carrots, which is kind of weird. But I'm gonna get rid of my webcam now, and I'm gonna dive into the actual education. So a lot of people ask, why do you do what you do? And I want to ask you guys the same thing, because the very first thing the Carrot Authority Builder talks about mission, it talks about vision. And I want to kind of inject into you part of why I do this and why our marketing works so well using this methodology. The very first part of that authority builders we'll go into in a little bit is, like I said, mission and values. And for me, I absolutely love building a team now. I didn't used to, but I love it because I get to impact a lot of people, both on our team. We get to have fun. We get to inject positivity into the community. We donated about $80,000 to causes the Amplify our core values last year alone. And that's really what drives us. We want to keep on growing this company so we can amplify entrepreneurs, amplify you guys, so you guys can build businesses like this that make a bigger impact locally and to your team members as you grow. That's our why. Like this right here is our why, is making people smile, making people have fun in their businesses finally, instead of being stressed out all the time. So what's the industry transformation? Let's dig into this a little bit more. Having the perspective that we've got on the retail side and the wholesale side, started to look at the industry. I'm going, okay, so if you really study other industries, like other industries that have been transformed, like the newspaper industry or like the stock industry, things like that, there's always this period where technology caught up with the inefficiencies in the market. Let me say that again. There's always a period where technology caught up with the inefficiencies in the market. If you look at the newspaper industry, technology caught up with the inefficiency of writing, of a kid riding around on a bike, throwing a bunch of newspapers on someone's doorstep, to where technology made it easier for people to get that same news online. It disrupted the industry. The newspaper companies who actually came in there and adjusted their model are winning. The ones who didn't, they went out of business. Now in the real estate market, we're in a very similar phase right now. We're in a very inefficient market phase. We have the retail side, which is primarily made up of real estate agents, traditional brokerages, the MLS, for sale by owners, things like that. On the wholesale side, which is the side that we've really grown a big business in, it's the flipping side, wholesaling. It's kind of the more distressed and highly motivated types of prospects, right? And this system has been working pretty good the last several decades. But now the past decade, you've seen some changes happen. You've seen, as technology changes and some of the real estate market changes, you've seen some amazing, flat fee brokerages pop up. You've seen some 100% commission or near 100% commission brokerages pop up, like Big Black Realty or like EXP. They're coming in and seeing the opportunity to go, okay, this industry needs disrupted. Agents need better resources, and they shouldn't have to pay as much in commission split for that. That's what their model is. So you're going to see a lot more of that stuff popping up. Because a lot of agents' commissions are getting whittled down. As you see a market happen inefficiently, and you see competitors come in the landscape, like an Open Door, like an OfferPad, like some of the bigger brokerages, like some of these 100% commission brokerages, you start to see people come out there and say, hey, rather than paying you a 3% commission for half of it, what about a 2.5%? What about a 2%? And who on this call has seen your guys' commissions starting to kind of whittle down a little bit? I was talking with the G team, and they're one of the top Century 21, or they were one of the top Century 21 teams until they moved to EXP 2 months ago, in the Northwest. They're one of the top ones in the Northwest, based out of little old Roseburg, Oregon. And I was talking with them, and they're saying, man, 3 years ago, we almost every time got 3% commission for our half. And they're saying, Matt, now we've got to really push for 2.5%. And I think that's really common in an inefficient market that's trying to become efficient. The market says, I want to be able to make this transaction happen for less. The market starts to see other options for making it, for giving them the value that traditionally an agent is giving you, i.e. when Zillow came up, people are starting to flip through their phone to look at properties at night. That's what the real estate agent helped you do 20 years ago. Now technology's taking over some of that stuff, right? Now, so here in the middle, this is what happens when you're in this phase of the market where it gets really inefficient, where someone has to go through this structure of the MLS to actually have a chance of selling the house today. When there's a lot of other ways they should be able to sell their house, your commissions and profits start to get squeezed. We see this on the real estate investor side in many cases, where there's a lot of competition. There's technology happening. There's a lot of different options for sellers and buyers. Your commissions and profits get squeezed. Now, here's why this is happening, right? Tech, like I said, is catching up with the inefficiencies of the market. Finally, technology is here to where it's like, okay, now we have the technology that can solve some of these inefficiencies. We can pair buyers and sellers faster and better with what they need, and sometimes cut out the agent, or sometimes make it to where it's a cut rate fee. There's more competition when you're at the top of the market as well. So we're at this kind of perfect storm where we're at the top of the market, near it, or maybe over it in some cities. And technology has finally caught up with the inefficiencies. So some things have to change. Some things are going to drastically change over the next 3 to 5 years. Your current way of marketing could possibly make you a commodity in 5 years. What was working 5 years ago of just the local social network and just driving leads through, let's say, Facebook ads or something like that, without stepping out and building credibility with content, that might make you a commodity if you don't step out and really separate yourself. Now, how do you separate yourself? We're going to talk about that in this call. You build niche authority. You build niche authority with content. You become authority with content. Okay, that's gonna be critical to stay relevant, beat the big tech, beat your other competitors, and thrive. And then the marketing tools that you start to choose over the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, it's gonna be really important as well, because so many of the marketing tools, like I'm gonna show you here in a bit, focus on automation. But if you're automating things and not standing out, becoming an authority, showing people why they should work with you specifically, you're automating stuff that isn't helping you. So the marketing tools you choose should really help you to stand out, not just to automate stuff that doesn't help you stand out. You know, in the next phase of real estate, the next stage, like I'm saying, standing out will be the way the agents win. It just will be. Having a broker provided website, no matter how fancy the automation is behind it, is that agent choosing to be a part of the clutter. If you just have the same looking broker provided website that shows the properties that are listed in that area, every other agent in your brokerage has the same thing. So therefore, how does someone choose to work with you instead? I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do that and how we're helping a lot of agents do that right now. But you'll stand out by showing your expertise. What's unique about you? Being in front of the prospects with content that your competitors and Zillow can't duplicate. We want to do things that Zillow can't do. Okay, let them win on the things that they can win on. Let them win on the best search experience. Let them win on that stuff. Because no matter how good Keller Williams' tool is going to be, it's going to be really hard to compete with the Zillow.com for their search experience. Let's win on stuff that they can't compete on, which is your unique expertise and your personality. Okay, agents who focus on the property versus why they should work with you specifically will be commoditized over the next 5 years. Now, what do I mean by that? If your marketing and your website primarily focuses on the MLS listings, the same listings the other agents in your market can market, if your stuff primarily focuses on that, if your location pages for the cities, neighborhoods that you do business in, if they just show properties on there, you're not standing out. Every other agent in your market does the same thing. I'm going to show you guys exact ways that you can stand out and decommoditize your positioning to really win. Okay, so how can we learn from the stock crash of 1987? In 1987, and I've started to research a lot of stuff this past few months. I'm going, okay, usually, as the phrase goes, usually history repeats itself. You know, usually history repeats itself, and oftentimes, if there's going to be some sort of a pivot in a market, we can look back in history and go, okay, so what other industries or markets were similar to this that maybe are 10 or 20 years ahead of where we are, and how did it shake up? And the one that I felt was the most similar to us, other than the mortgage industry, I'm trying to pick one that's completely not related to the real estate transaction at all. But the one that is most related is the stock market and how that changed with technology in the early 90s, late 80s, and early 2000s. And in 1987, there was this massive stock crash. It was actually the largest single day drop in the stock market, even bigger than the one that caused the Great Depression back in the 20s. Okay, it's the largest single day drop. And when that happened, so many of the stock owners were panicking. They had to pick up the phone to actually physically call a broker and say, sell these stocks, okay, or buy these ones. And what was happening was, because there was this big deluge of stocks being sold, the brokers were looking at this going, oh my gosh, if we keep answering these phones and making these trades, this is all documented, guys. If we keep answering these phones and making these trades, then we are going to be massively crippling our business by doing this. So many of them stopped answering the phones. That had a massive impact on the stock market. Things went down further, and then regulation and deregulation started to happen in certain areas. But this is a perfect time because technology was catching up with that inefficiency. There's a massive inefficiency of me as the stock buyer or seller having to physically call a stockbroker to make a trade. And then the market said, I can't put up with this anymore. If we're going to continue to dabble in stocks, to invest in stocks, we need to make this more efficient and cut those people out of the middle that are just being there as a toll gate rather than adding value. And so that's when you started to see technology pop up with Charles Schwab, with E-Trade, with all of those ways to start to buy and sell stocks online. And so many people were talking about in that era, they were saying, oh my gosh, the stockbroker profession is dead. Let's move to something else. Now, what we all know decades later is that it's actually bigger now than it ever has been. The market expanded. But back then, people were saying the stockbroker profession's dead. Now, a lot of you guys are probably hearing the same thing about agents. I read it the other day where some people were saying, look at this technology solution that came out. They're making it to where it's a $1,000 listing fee. It's full service, And that really smart professional said, I can't picture where a real estate agent is going to be relevant in 5 years. That's what they said. I fully disagree. But people are saying the same things that they were saying during the stock market. Now, how did the market expand and how did the stock brokers or those experts actually win? Well, a lot of them went out of business. The ones who just continued to hang their hat on the fact that they had a license that enabled them to be the toll gate in the middle between a person buying and selling a stock, they did go out of business because those people weren't adding value to the transaction. They weren't being an expert. They weren't showing their expertise. The ones who won were the ones who niched and specialized. They're the ones who said, you know what, I'm going to become a financial advisor. That's when you saw your registered investment advisor, you saw your certified financial planners, you saw all these designations pop up over the next 10 to 20 years because those people saw the writing on the wall. We have to add more value. We have to niche and specialize. We can actually charge more when we do so. We're not going to have our fees erode away. And then we're actually going to be carving out a space where we're an expert and we're not going to go away. Now, a certain percentage of the stock buying public did go and started buying from E-Trade and Charles Schwab and stuff. But those were the people who were comfortable with the buying and selling process. They wanted to go on there and do their own research, and they were okay with making the transaction. Now, no matter what happens on the real estate tech side of things, we are going to see a portion of the market that's going to get eaten up by technology. Okay, we're in a more cluttered marketplace right now, just like it was back then with stocks. And so we are going to see, as technology starts to change, more and more buyers and sellers start to go and use these technology solutions. But I feel it's going to be the ones who are more comfortable with making that real estate transaction. They're the ones who are fine with doing their own research and fine with doing most of their own paperwork, maybe with a little bit of assistance. It might be their second or third home. It might be the the third rental property that they've bought, and they've already done a bunch of them. But I feel the vast majority of home sales are still going to happen where someone needs an expert, and that's where you need to stand out. So current sold stats right now, this is from NAR. This is as of I think a year or two ago. It shows 88% of all homes sold were through a real estate agent, which is amazing. It actually grew in the past decade. Okay, now 12% were other. That's through your house flippers. That's through for sale by owner, things like that. Here's my 15-year prediction based off of history repeating itself and based off of just my knowledge on the investment side, the agent side, and where technology is going. Is I really feel that within about 10 to 15 years, that gap is going to grow. I think the home sales with agents, specifically through the MLS, is probably going to go down to about 70%. I feel that the other category is going to grow to 30. That's your iBuyers. That's your house buyers. That's your technology solutions, making it easier for people to go through that. And in that bucket too, I'm placing some of these technology solutions that technically probably have brokers on staff, but they're like a $1,000 listing fee, that kind of thing. Okay, so what happens when the pie starts to shift a little bit? Now, I think the good thing is that the overall pie is going to grow. So I don't think that the dollar amount of sales from agents in 15 years is going to shrink. I think that's going to grow, but I think the percentage is going to flip-flop a little bit. So what's kind of a problem with most real estate agents marketing right now? Well, are there, I can't see the comments, but you guys pop it through the comment section. How many people on here are Keller Williams agents? Pop it through the comment section. I'm just kind of curious.
Trevor, and I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize you couldn't see those.
You're good, man. And maybe I can. Maybe I'm just not seeing it.
No, it might be because I never switched you to an organizer, and now maybe you can see them as well. Maybe not. So we do have.
Oh, there we go. Yep, I got it now. Sweet, I got it. Cool. So there's a bunch. Lori says I'm a Keller Williams agent. Another person said KW agent. Amazing. So Keller Williams is one of the brokerages that's really starting to innovate on the technology side of things. They're coming out with iBuyer programs. They're doing all these kinds of things because they see the writing on the wall of exactly what I described there, of the two sides of the industry coming together because of inefficiency. We're going to see it squeezing more towards the middle of the market. Okay. Now, one big flaw that I see though, that all of these systems are focusing in on is this, Jim. There's a bunch, guys. There's a bunch. Person says friend. It says friend. I suspect this is a replay. We're not live. Nope, it's 100% live. It is Thursday morning at 10:36 a.m. Pacific time. It's 100% live, guys, for sure. So KW Command came out, and it's an amazing software solution. But the one gap is this, guys. I want to ask you a question. Let's say you and every other real estate agent in your market, every other KW agent have KW Command. How do you stand out from them? How do you stand out from them? What if every agent, yeah, we're on, man. We're definitely on live. So what if every other agent in your market has these same technology solutions that make an amazing follow-up process and automate all these cool things and whatever? You are just part of the clutter at that point. Okay, automation only helps you stand out if the foundation of what you're automating helps you stand out. If you're just automating things that other agents can automate, i.e., if you're just automating giving people listings of properties, the same listings that agent number 4 can automate, then you're not standing out. The way that you stand out is with content through the Authority Builder framework, which I'm going to be walking you through here. That's the solution. You've got to become a niche authority. And the way that we've done it over the years, I actually created this framework when I was working with big companies as a consultant. One of the bigger companies, probably most of the people on this call have heard, or you guys have probably used their product. If you go to Home Depot and buy like one of those luxury vinyl plank floorings, I think one of them now, I can't remember the name of it now, but it used to be called Allure Flooring. It's this really amazing luxury vinyl plank. It's the higher end stuff. They came up with a new name now. Almost all of that is made from this one company called Halstead International. Okay, and Halstead International at that time was about a $500 million a year company. They're about $1 billion a year company now, and we use this exact same framework to go in there and take them from number 8 in HomeDepot.com to number 1 in under 18 months. We controlled the conversation online, and that's something that so many agents right now are completely avoiding. Is you guys are focusing all of your marketing offline or just on Facebook, but the number one source of your prospects, where almost all of them are searching, is Google. And so many agents have kind of thrown up their hands and said, well, Zillow owns that, like we're not going to compete there. That's not the case. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to beat Zillow in the back half of this call, the next 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, but the first thing you got to focus in on is your brand. Is when people are starting to search you, your company, what do they see? When they start to search your name, do they go to a website that doesn't just have your pretty face and listings of properties, but shows why they should work with you? That shows why you're special. You know, something like this. Let's go ahead and pull up right here the G Team. Okay, if I land on the G Team's website here, I can clearly see what their niches are. It's high-end homes. I can clearly see some of their actual listings. I see a bunch of testimonials. I see what they're about. I go up here to the About page, and it doesn't just say, hey, we've got 35 years of experience in the real estate industry, and we blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, we are awesome people. Like we have core values that we truly believe in, that our marketing actually talks about all the time. Yeah, we are experts in what we do. We have personalities. Here's who we are. Here's my background. Here's why I love real estate. Here's how we can help you really well. It's just different when you land on a page like this. You're like, whoa, I feel like I know these people. When you land on most real estate agents' About pages, it just feels like, oh, they're just another person who talks about knowing a lot about real estate, right? You go to the reviews page, you go check out like, wow, these people have worked with a lot of people. And this barely scratches the surface. They have hundreds of reviews on Zillow and all over the place. Okay, so that's the first thing you've got to do, is control your conversation around your brand. So I would highly suggest you guys literally go to Google and start to type up whatever your name is, whatever your company name is. It could be, I'm just going to type it up here, G Styles, Roseburg. So you can see this. People are physically every month in Google. Google's telling me this with the suggested searches. They're saying people are searching for this actual broker every single month. So does your website actually deliver an amazing conversation? Is it starting to control the conversation around building brand credibility for you? G Styles does. They're a client of ours. So we're going to be walking through some of that stuff there. Okay, so here's where I want you guys to start writing some stuff down. We're going to start putting pen to pad, starting to map out a better direction for your marketing this next year. I learned this concept a couple of years ago, and if you can picture this, picture yourself sitting on a stool, and that stool has 2 legs. Now, could you get up off of that stool and have the stool still stand up if the stool had 2 legs? Answer is no. The stool is going to fall down as soon as you get off that stool. Well, that's how so many of your businesses are. That's how my business was before I decided to make this switch towards inbound marketing. Is whenever I would get up off of that business, whenever I would have one piece of marketing not work anymore, the whole thing would topple over and fall down. I'd have to rebuild, refigure out what marketing is going to work, do that again, and then that one would stop working as well. Then it would fall down again, and I got to rebuild. It's that boom and bust business model I was talking about before. But as soon as you add a 3rd leg to the stool, most agents, one of their stools is social media, works really well. The other leg to their stool is offline. That's your networking, your personal networking. You're going to the networking groups, things like that. okay? But that's not a very stable business if you only have two primary methods of marketing, and both of them require you to actively all the time put a lot of things out there. Okay, you have to be always putting a lot of things out there on social. You have to always be putting a lot of stuff out there, in-person networking. But the one that most agents are ignoring is what I referenced before, was the inbound side of it, is how do you get people to come to you rather than you always having to prospect them? And what happens is that's through Google search. Almost every single one of your prospects, buyers, sellers, tenants, it doesn't matter. They're picking up their cell phone, they're doing Google searches, and that's exactly how Zillow grew their business, was from Google searches, okay? Why is inbound marketing so powerful? According to HubSpot, one of the inbound marketing experts, the lead to customer close ratio is so much higher from SEO, from inbound marketing, from ranking high in Google for phrases that your primary prospects are searching, than anything else. Even higher than referrals, way higher than paid search, way higher than social media. Why is that? Because someone who goes to Google with a problem or they're looking for a solution is actively seeking out something, and they're more ready to make a decision quickly. How many of your Facebook leads, I love Facebook, we use Facebook all the time, but how many of your Facebook leads take so much nurturing to get to the point of taking action that sometimes you go, man, there's a lot coming in, but it takes a long time for them to come to action. Keep that going, keep ramping that up. That works amazingly well, but don't do that at the expense of ignoring all of the people that are actively seeking out a solution now. They're going to make a quicker decision to buy or sell, that are going to Google and doing those searches. Okay, so how you make your clients make decisions, or how your clients make decisions. We're going to demo this online real quick. Okay, so let's say I'm in Roseburg. This is where I am right now, right? So I might go, okay, Roseburg homes for sale. Okay, so that's probably the first thing that most of your buyers are going to search. Or if you're a seller, you might type in like sell my house Roseburg, or you might type in something like best real estate agents Roseburg, or something like that, right? So I'm just going to do this one here again. So Roseburg homes for sale. Usually a search starts really, really broad, okay, and then they start to narrow down. But what you see here is you see Realtor, Trulia, Zillow. The national sites really dominate the overall city searches. So it's going to be really hard to beat Zillow, Realtor.com on an overall city search, like a Roseburg homes for sale, or Los Angeles homes for sale, or Brentwood homes for sale. But then as someone starts to dig down further, they go, I really like these 3 neighborhoods in Roseburg. Let me start to search those neighborhoods now. Okay, I really love the rivers. I love the North Umpqua River. I really love Melrose. I want to start to find homes there now. Okay, so now I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do like North Umpqua Rivers, right? The one I showed you guys before. North Umpqua River homes. Look at that. So Google's telling me people are typing that every month in Google. So North Umpqua River homes for sale. Cool. So now what do I see here? Before we saw Zillow, Realtor, the same sites, but now you see the G team. They created a simple page. We deconstructed the Zillow's model. We call it the Beat Zillow model. We'll give you guys that framework today. It won't cost you anything. And we show you exactly how to set up your location pages. Your location pages, most agents' location pages are not set up correctly to actually rank anywhere that matters that your prospects are searching. So this page is set up perfectly to rank really well. Oftentimes, if it's done correctly, for niche phrases like this, outrank Zillow. Let's say you're looking for Melrose. Okay, I'm actually curious about this, and so let's say waterfront homes for sale. I don't even know if the G Team one is there or not. We'll see. So it's on page 1. So they've got a little bit of work to do there. So at least they're in the conversation. But let's now look at Melrose, right? Okay, Melrose, Roseburg. Okay, so look at this. It's giving me suggestions. Okay, homes. Okay, cool. For sale, for rent, bam. People are searching this exact phrase every single month in Google. Google is telling us. So I start to search that. I see Zillow paying for ads, Zillow. They just launched this page about 3 months ago. The G Team did. They followed the exact same model. I went through here, has a good, clean, clear branding. You can clearly see this is them. It's building credibility. Any other agent in the market, you can't copy this. You can't copy a picture of Ricky Graham looking over an actual property in Melrose with an actual client. You can't copy their actual expertise that they've lived in the Melrose area for over 20 years, and they're going to be relaying how they can really help you and why they love the Melrose area. You can't copy their exact picture of one of their exact listings in that area. Okay, you can copy some of their IDX listings. They don't have any particular listings in there right now, but that's the stuff that you can't copy. So this page is starting to pop up in the rankings now. So the reason I'm showing this, guys, is can you imagine the way that your current sellers are searching? Most of them are not going to Facebook to actively search out properties. They're going to Facebook to find stuff. Your amazing Facebook marketing, following Josh's model, is going to get in front of them, pique their interest, and get them to take action. Where they are going to search for solutions is Google. So now what's the next thing? Once they start to narrow down the neighborhoods, then they're probably going to go, best real estate agents, Roseburg. Okay. So look at that. Best real estate agents, Roseburg is a suggested search. Now, this is one I don't think G-Team is working on yet, but you see a bunch of people up here paying for ads here. That's some of your national sites. But then you see Yelps in there. You see some of your locals. You see G-Team on page 1 now. They're starting to climb up there. That's the way that your sellers and buyers are searching. They start broad. They narrow down to neighborhoods potentially or niches, and then they start to then look for the agent. So if you can start to add content to your website, add content to YouTube, the way I'm going to show you here in a bit, then it's going to start to help you control that conversation line. It's going to help you build more credibility. And at that point, your website kind of becomes the hub. Your website becomes the hub of where all of your content happens, where your credibility happens. Currently, most real estate agents' websites are just simply a spot to house your IDX, which is the exact same listings 400 other agents in your market have. There's nothing unique there about what's on your website. Most agents' websites just have a pretty glamour shots photo of you on the page, and that's kind of about it. Maybe it talks about your 20 years of experience in real estate. But the next phase, guys, you've got to niche and specialize and stand out. And you've got to make sure that your Facebook marketing is driving to or referencing your website in many cases. Not all the time. Use your Facebook lead ads, they work, but also drive people to your website to have them browse around and look at your videos, have them browse around and look at your website, build more credibility. That's going to actually increase your lead to close ratio in a big way. Okay, so that's a big key here, guys, is to make the next phase of real estate work really well for agents. You've got to decommoditize yourself. How do you do that? You do that by building authority. How do you do that? You do that by building content that builds your authority. You need to house it on something that you actually control, something that you can put content on. It's something your brokerage isn't going to keep a tight lid on, that if you move from one brokerage to the next, you can take with you, those kinds of things. GT moved from Century 21 to EXP a month or two ago. They took the website with them, rebranded it, done deal. Okay. Cynthia right here said, I switched from KV Core to Carrot and I love it. Have much more control with Carrot and brand myself rather than using my broker. And that's what I'm talking about there, right? So when you're building your brand, rather than building Keller Williams brand, the G team actually became bigger than the Century 21 brand locally. So like, why are we continuing to pay the splits to Century 21? Let's go over here and build our own brand and really focus in on that. And I think that's going to be a big key for so many agents moving forward, is you really focusing on building your own brand. Okay, really focusing on that. Darlene says this, hey, I've been agent for 8 years, first 5 years with companies that provided websites that did nothing for me until this program. I didn't see the need for one and I've done fine without it. That's the key. Most of you are doing fine without having optimized this. Now, the next 2 to 3 years, that might change. But now I see the need, especially after Rob Vaughn, one of our clients, posted his success with a landing page from the Carrot system. I've had Carrot and since know that nothing about websites. These guys are fabulous, blah, blah, blah. So let's go through the Carrot Authority Builder now. Okay, I want to help you guys build authority. It's going to take about 20 to 30 minutes. So what is authority and what are the different levels of it? The first level of authority, and on the left side, you've got kind of earning potential. On the bottom side, you've got your authority scale. And I want to have you guys kind of write down on a piece of paper on your end or pop it through actually, let's do this. I want to have you pop it through. Yeah, good question here. Someone says, so should we make area specific pages on our websites and then do Google ads pointing to them? The answer is yes. I'm going to talk at the end. I'll answer that question in detail at the end and show you exactly how to do it, because the way that most people are doing Google ads pointing to them are not working. They're not efficient. I'll show you how to do that correctly. But I want you guys to put through the questions panel as I go through these. Let me know what level of the authority scale that you are in your local market. Okay, because I want to know where you are there. We're going to guide you up how to gain more authority. No matter if you love being in front of camera, no matter if you're outgoing, if you're introvert, any of that stuff. I want to help guide you to more authority. More authority means more earning potential and more ability to impact people. At the very lowest level, it's the servicer. It's the person who, as a real estate agent, has the license. They might not be a real expert. They've learned some stuff and they can make a transaction happen, but people are really only going to work with that person because they've got the license. It might be literally your Aunt Betsy. She's got the license. I feel bad for not working with Aunt Betsy instead of this other person. So I'm going to work with her since she's got the license. She can help me get it on the MLS for me. Okay, that's a servicer. Not much influence at that point. Okay, the next one is the expert. That's someone who's really spent some time becoming an expert in something, in the North Umpqua River homes, in these other niches, in types of sellers, types of buyers, types of properties, whatever it is. You're a clear expert. What's an example that's outside of real estate? Teachers, guys, teachers at schools, at universities are experts. Okay, the English teacher at Oregon Institute of Technology that I went to is an expert in English. Okay, but they're not an authority because not a lot of people really know who they are outside of people in that school. They're an expert, but not a lot of people know that they're an expert. Okay. Now, an authority is a person that is an expert, and a good amount of people know that they're an expert. Okay. You've put out content, you've put out stuff, you've networked the heck out of it to where people know and understand and recognize your expertise. Awesome. This person is an authority in the Roseburg area on North Umpqua River homes. This person is an authority on this particular development or country club in Philadelphia. Okay, you become an authority by people knowing that you have expertise. The top of the scale is a celebrity expert. Okay, that's someone who is literally on TV all the time. That could be those people that are on HGTV, that are on, whatever those shows are. I think that there's like $1 Million Listing and all those types of shows. Those are legit national celebrity experts. They're paid more, even though their expertise might not be any more than your expertise. You might actually be a better expert than they are, but more people know about them. Therefore, they're going to get paid better for it, and people are going to go work for them, work with them. Okay, but you don't have to be a celebrity expert at the national level. You can be a celebrity expert at the city level, at the neighborhood level. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to do that stuff. All right. You're a commodity at the left end of this. That's where your commissions get cut. You struggle to win business. You're on the brink of going out of business. On this side of things, you're a sought after expert. You're paid well. You're referred often. You own the conversation in your niche topic. You're the go-to source. We want you guys to be up there towards the authority, celebrity expert part in your market. Okay, that's where we want you to be. When you are towards the left end of that spectrum, you have a boom and bust business model. You get a bunch of commissions this quarter. It goes down the next. You're scrambling, wondering why things changed. You can't have that freedom. You can't have that flexibility. You can't make the impact you want to make when you're in a business like that. Guys, I've experienced that. That's how my previous businesses were before I intentionally chose to change the way I market, change the way I lead, and become an authority. I never knew what my income was going to be that next month. And it was always stressful. I couldn't confidently talk to my wife and say, hey, babe, let's take 3 weeks off. Let's take a month off. I couldn't do it because I had to hustle to get marketing in the door, to get leads happening, to get revenue happening the next month. Otherwise, our income would go down to almost nothing. Okay, now it's like this. And this is what happens with people who become authorities in your market. Authorities will thrive in this market space where so many commissions are getting compressed right now and profits are getting compressed. If you're able to become an authority, you're going to stand out. You're going to insulate yourself from that. You're going to be able to actually demand your full fees. So how are trusted authorities created? Now let's pull out this authority builder framework, guys. Okay, I'm going to switch what screen I'm sharing right now. Actually here in a bit, and I'm actually going to bring up my iPad, and we're going to go through this framework together. I'm going to start drawing on stuff, writing on stuff, showing you guys how to fill out this worksheet alongside with me. But I want to give you a primer of this worksheet right now in about 5 slides, showing you why each part of this authority builder pyramid matter. Okay, so the first part, guys and gals, of becoming an authority is you've got to set the foundation, which is all of your marketing, all of your communication, your messaging should really be built off of why you do what you do. What are your mission and values? Why is it that you chose to do real estate? If it's just to make a commission, I can tell you you're going to have a really tough time cracking through in this next market because there's a million people in your market that also have the ability to list a property, to help a buyer sell a property, that also want to make a commission. Okay, but if you have been a school teacher for 30 years and you so love and believe in families and strong families, and you're just so passionate about what strong families can do and how it fosters amazing kids as they grow up, and you decide to become a real estate agent instead, that might be part of your mission. Part of my mission is I spent 30 years in education, and I got to help thousands of kids, go through the ranks of grade school. And you know what? I found that the kids who had strong homes, strong families are the ones who thrived, even though it didn't matter by income. The ones who had strong homes, strong families, strong morals, strong ethics are the ones who thrive. So therefore, I'm coming in here to help families find the home and build a home that can be the strong foundation of that family moving forward. I'm gonna help you find the right home in the right neighborhood. I'm gonna help you, even outside of real estate stuff, I'm gonna help you to do things and learn things to build a strong family, strong home. That's why I'm here. Help build amazing, strong families and strong homes in Roseburg. Okay, what's your mission? And it can't be, I want to help you sell your house. It can't be, I have 35 years of experience and I am absolutely passionate about the transaction of selling a property. And that's all amazing stuff, but that's not going to excite your seller. That's not going to excite your buyer. What's going to connect with them is your why. And that's why so many people have came and joined Carrot is our why, is we're truly passionate about amplifying you as an entrepreneur, about unleashing you so you can have that freedom, so you can have that flexibility, so you can make the impact that you want to make. Because in my previous businesses, I was trapped in them. I was making mid-six figures trapped, and I hated my work. I hated. I was ungrateful. I didn't enjoy what I was doing. I didn't have a mission that resonated with myself, let alone others. But as soon as I started Carrot, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start with mission. I'm going to start with values, and I'm going to lead my marketing. My marketing, all of it's going to talk about why we do what we do, because I'm pumped about that. I'm excited about it genuinely. And if you go to our website and you can see that we eat our own dog food, we strongly suggest that at the start, at least type up why you do what you do. You don't have to put a fancy video like we have. Maybe that's second level. But originally our about page just looked like this. Our story. Here's why we started it. You know, here's what we're doing. Why do we love marketing technology? What are our core values? Our mission is to add humanity to business, because we feel so much humanity is getting removed from the world. People have their faces stuck in phones so much. People are automating out the human touch in businesses. We want to reverse that trend and put the human touch back in, because we feel it's so important to the fabric of society. We think we can make a little dent in that. We want to add humanity to business and help people regain the time for things in their lives that matter. Americans are busier now than ever. If you do marketing the right way, you can regain your time. If you do marketing in a way that builds momentum, you can regain your time. You can enjoy life better, make a bigger impact. Here's our core values. Here's our team. Like when you land on this page versus some of our competitors, some people say they joined just because of our about page, because of what we believe in. And then we took it to the next level with an amazing video. Now, once again, we didn't start out this way, okay? But this video, if you were to watch this video, it barely even says what we do. It barely says what we do. It's all talking about why we do what we do. And that's so important, okay? So that's the first thing you guys got to do, is focus in on that about page. Focus in on, if you have the budget for it, if you have someone that you know, create a simple video under 8 minutes long. Ours is 2.5 minutes. It just talks about why you do what you do and why you're excited about it. Get that on your about page, and then start talking about that stuff in your content. Start talking about that stuff. Become passionate about that why and that mission. That's going to so cut through that clutter in your market, guys, and it's going to excite you and reinvigorate you about your business in a big way. Okay. Number two, on top of that foundation, is you've got to niche down your message. I was talking with a real estate agent a couple of weeks ago. He's a gentleman down in California, a newer real estate agent. And I said, man, so you're in a competitive market. So what's your plan? Like, what's your plan to crack through? What do you want to focus in on? Do you have a niche you want to niche down on? And he said the answer that I hear a lot, and this is the answer that I think is gonna doom many agents to be commoditized. But you can quickly change this, and hopefully change it on this call. The first thing is this: is I say, he said, well, I don't want to really niche down. I don't want to narrow myself down, because I'd really take any listing in the area, and I'm just afraid if I start to niche down my messaging, that I'll start to alienate some people, and then it'll actually make my business grow slower. And that's the first inclination from all of us. That was my inclination when I started Carrot. Carrot isn't named Real Estate Carrot for a reason, when that's what we primarily focus on. Carrot is named Carrot because we're solving a problem that all small business has. How do you stand out? How do you actually make your website convert better? How do you actually bring clients to you rather than you having to hustle to get to them, and make it to where the client is in the driver's seat rather than you having to prospect all the time? And we said, well, the way we're actually going to grow, though, is by niching. We know the real estate market really, really well. Let's niche down and help those people really, really well there, because we can hone in our messaging. Real estate agents, investors know that we can help you specifically. You know that we're an expert on this. If we were just Carrot and we helped 4,000 different industries, I don't think that we would have grown anywhere near as fast as we have, because our target prospect wouldn't really recognize that we're an expert there. So I'd challenge you guys, come up with 1 to 3 niches. This worksheet's going to help you do that. We're going to do it here in a second. With those niches, now how do you build authority on those niches? Our model is create 5 to 8 very simple videos. I recorded one yesterday with my iPhone, okay, that just talk about your expertise in those niches, or even better, they don't talk about you. They talk about the answers to problems or common objections people have in those niches. Okay, here's an example. Let's go back to the North Umpqua River Homes one. And the reason I talk about this one a lot is because I bought a home on the river and I had these problems going in as a buyer. I had no clue that we had to take into consideration how we get water there, because there's not city water there. So there's wells, you can pull the water out of the river. There's multiple types of filtration systems. I had no clue, but my agent did. He lives on the river. He sold more homes in the river than probably any other agent over here. So he said, hey, let's look at the water situation. What's that look like? That'd be an amazing video. Hey, this is Trevor Mock. I'm out here from ABC Realty. And you know what? We work with a lot of people who are buying and selling homes here in the North Umpqua River. And one of the things you've got to look for is where's your drinking water come from? Well, I'm going to walk you through the 3 common spots that drinking water comes from in the North Umpqua River. And I'm going to walk you through how we actually have our house set up. And that might be a good guide for you. And what do they cost? What considerations should you put in? And you want to make sure you're working, then start to educate them on that. And you want to make sure that you're working with an agent who can guide you through this. There's a lot of things that can kind of be snafus on buying a home on the river. We'd love to walk you through it. Just hit us up, call, text, or email us at blah, 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 blah. And we'd love to talk to you about your next, your purchase on the river. Can you imagine if you saw 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos that we're just talking about those things, about the properties or situations that you're interested in? No one in your market's doing that. If they saw that, y'all, and you took those videos and you put them on your Facebook ads, you took those videos and you put them into YouTube, you took those videos, you put them on your website, you'd crush it. You'd be the clear authority in that market. Okay. So after that, the common blocks, like I said, people don't want to narrow down their business. I already walked you through that. I'm going to walk you through here in the worksheet here in a second. Next, locations. So after we've nailed our mission, vision, values, that's the foundation of everything. That's going to excite you about why you're waking up in the morning to do your work. That's going to excite and connect people with you. Okay, then you nail your niches, your 1 to 3 niches. It doesn't mean you have to focus only on those. It means you're going to create content that shows you're an expert on those. Okay, it doesn't mean your whole website's going to be about North Umpqua River homes, but it should mean a section of it should be. And it should mean that when people land on that section, they maybe get retargeting ads on Facebook that is that niche video series I talked about to really show your expertise and add value. Okay, every single video should have a call to action. Hey, if you want to work with us, if you'd love to look at some of these homes in the river, just text, call, or email us at blah, 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 blah. It could be as simple as that. Okay, now after you do that, now we nail our locations. So where do we do business at? Okay, and what we suggest at the start is picking one primary city, and then within that city, picking 2, 3, 4, 5 niche locations. I'm going to walk you through on that worksheet what a niche location is here in a second. But the common blocks I have people, I have agents coming to us with this is that they're using the wrong tool. Those pages aren't optimized to convert. They're not optimized to rank well. They're not actually narrow enough. So many agents come to me and say, man, why is my location page that just says, Erie, Pennsylvania homes for sale, not ranking well in Google? Well, it's because there's so much competition for city level phrases. But if you narrow it down to neighborhoods or that country club in Erie that you're really an expert in, or this side of Erie, just go to Google like I was doing before and start to type up phrases and see what people are searching and make location pages on that stuff. Okay, use our Zillow framework that's built into the carrot system. Okay, and like I said, the framework for picking your ideal location pages is this. First of all, pick your cities. Okay, write down those 1, 2, 3, 4 cities on that worksheet right now. I'm going to be pulling up the worksheet here in a second and doing it with you. But write down your primary 1, 2, 3, 4 cities. Okay, then within those cities, go, cool. So within this city, are there neighborhoods I really want to focus in on? Are types of homes I really want to focus in on? Are types of buyers or sellers I really want to focus in on? Write those down. Okay, and then sub niches. We're not going to get into sub niches at all in this call. It's more advanced. That's more like a city is Roseburg, Oregon. A niche is North Umpqua River homes for sale. That's in Roseburg. A sub niche is North Umpqua River homes for sale near Glide, which is a very specific part of the river. That's advanced stuff. We'll get to that later. We're not going to go over that today. Okay. And then last, guys, the other stuff I just showed you is kind of like one-time effort. You build out those pages, then as you go into more locations or as you want to add in more niches, you can then add in pages later. But those are evergreen. Those are going to be up on your website for a long time. They're going to be things that if you optimize them correctly with the right website system, you'll start to see them rank in Google just like you see with the G team. But then this right here is how you really solidify and nail your expert authority. This is how you nail it, guys. This is how you stay in front of your prospects and amplify everything Josh teaches you on the Facebook side. This right here is going to make all of it even work better. And then everything Josh teaches you on the Facebook side is going to make everything I'm teaching you work better. They work so hand in hand to amplify each other in an amazing way. So with this, put out weekly, fresh content to build authority. Okay, now I'm not talking anything complicated. I'm talking about once you've nailed your niches and your locations and those pages are built out, we can show you how to do that. We have systems that do it for you, or you might be able to do it on the current website system you're on. Once you nail those, then you're going, okay, what's the on-the-job content that I can start to do? Okay, on-the-job content for us is this. It's you're an expert in luxury homes in Erie, Pennsylvania. Okay, next time you're out there at a luxury home, I would take out my cell phone and say, I would do this. Hey, this is Trevor with ABC Realty out here in Erie, Pennsylvania, and I'm actually walking through a home that is a 9,000 square, whatever it is. It's a huge house, right? 9,000 square foot home here in North Erie, Pennsylvania. And you know what? There's some amazing, amazing properties in the market right now. But if you're in the market for a high-end home like this, I'm going to walk you through this one. Even if this one isn't a fit for you, this might start to jog some ideas for you on what type of bathroom you want, what type of this you want, what type of that you want. Okay, so I'm going to walk through this. If you guys have any questions about luxury homes, I'm always, always, always on top of it. Just go to abcrealty.com/luxury, and you're going to be able to see, you're going to be able to get on our list for the most updated list of properties over $1 million in the market. We update it every single day. Just go to abcrealty.com/luxury and join our list for the for properties over $1 million. We update it every single day. So you're always the first one to know about the properties that fit your needs. So that's a call to action. You're driving to a landing page. Do one of those a week, and I'm going to show you how to actually get that to rank in Google. Just like this right here. Okay, so this right here is one of those niche videos. Here in Roseburg, once again, I'm just using these because I'm talking with these agents all the time. There's an agent named Denny Cruz, and he's part of a bigger independent brokerage called G Styles Realty. And Denny isn't a guy who's going to sit down and do writing. Okay, Denny's he's been a rancher for 20 or 30 years. They're not ones who wanted to write. Even if they would write, the articles wouldn't be that great. So what we said is this: we said, okay, Denny, you've got a cell phone. Next time you're out there at one of those ranch properties or farmland, have someone come with you, or you can do it yourself, and just film a short video, 3 to 5 minutes. Now write this down, guys and gals. 3 to 5 minutes is very important. Okay, the reason 3 to 5 minute videos is very important is because the average person speaks 120 to 160 words a minute. Now what Google wants is Google loves content that's at least 500 to 800 words. Google loves content and web pages that's at least 500 to 800 words. And if you have a page that has 200 or 300 words, it's going to have a hard time outranking some stuff. Okay, but 500 to 800 words, you start to hit that sweet spot. So if you do a 3 to 5 minute video, and the average person speaks 120 to 160 words a minute, and you take all those words out of that video and transcribe it and put it on the web page, that equals a 500 to 800 word article. And I'm going to show you exactly how this plays out. So Denny is an expert in farmland. I say go out there in some farmland, Denny, film a 3 minute to 5 minute video talking about something about farmland if people are interested in it. Make sure, Denny, that you say some of the words that people might be searching in Google. Make sure you say farmland. Make sure you say farmland in Roseburg. Make sure you say if you're looking to buy, like those kinds of things. Say the things that people might actually be searching. Okay. And then he uploaded it into our feature called Video Post. Video Post takes your YouTube video, it automatically imports into our system, it automatically sends it out, gets it transcribed, brings it back, and makes a full written article for you in minutes. Okay, it does all the work for you. It takes your writing process down from an hour or two down to under 10 minutes. And so this is what happened. Buying farmland in Roseburg. Okay, so you can see people actually searching. There's a lot of phrases around that. Okay, or any phrase around that. You could even put farmland in Roseburg now, but he did this in 2017. This is how long we've been doing this, okay? He did this short video. They're outranking Land and Farm, Land Watch, LoopNet. There's a local one there, Lands of America, Farm Seller. Guys, this is a local guy that's showing his expertise, that's showing his unique take on this. Can you imagine someone landing here that's looking to buy farmland in the area? They see this video of Denny, and they see that he's clearly an expert on it. And then they see that there's other content around farmland because he filmed other videos in farmland, okay? And you can see it wasn't special. This is not a fancy video. Okay, not a fancy video at all, guys. And this thing has had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of visits. They're getting leads from it. I haven't had a chance to go back and verify or check, but I can guarantee you based on the stats that I see, they have gotten business from this. And they own any phrase around buying farmland. Okay, if we were just to literally just do like farmland in Roseburg, that gets more generic. They're number one in Google right there too. And if you start to look at any other of these phrases, they're going to start to do those. Now, if I was Denny, I would also create a video on this. I would create a video on acreage for sale in Roseburg. I'd create a video on land for sale by owner in Roseburg, and I put them in my Video Post feature. and then start to get this written content out here. I'd then take that video and get it on Facebook and launch it as an ad or do something like that. Okay, that's how when people are starting to search farmland in Roseburg, you are now everywhere they're looking. You are the authority. All he did was film a couple videos and get them up online with an optimized system. This is something that KW Command, none of those other systems could ever actually do right now. Okay, they're going to automate the follow-up, they're going to automate all the stuff, but what are you following up with? Are you following up with stuff that's unique to you, that's building your authority, trust, credibility, and likability? Or are you automating with generic stuff? Hey, here's more properties in this area that are 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a swimming pool. That's great stuff. But if you didn't stand out in their mind as the person that they want to work with, the expert, the authority, the likable person, that all that stuff you're sending them is great. That's really useful. They love it. But they're going to go work with this other person over here that maybe even didn't send them all that stuff because they know, like, trust them better, that they're an expert. Okay, how do you become that expert? Okay, that's what we're talking about here. All right, so what I'm going to do is this. Let's go ahead and bring up this other screen. I'm going to bring up my iPad. We'll spend about 10 minutes going through this worksheet. Then we'll answer questions. And I do have one thing I'm going to do really quick here, guys. Like, I'll show some of the carrot system. Some of the stuff you'll be able to do on a website you have, possibly. Some of it you won't. But one thing I do want to show is this. Since this is new as far as what we're doing, we're going to be putting on a challenge in July. Okay, so this process I'm going to walk you through on the iPad here really quick in about 10 minutes. We went, okay, so because this does take work, I'm not going to lie, it takes work, but anything worth it takes work. Okay, it's going to take a shift in your marketing mindset. It's going to take a shift in your vision for where the industry is going. It's going to take a shift in looking at the tools that you're going to use to stand out. Okay, and use those fancy automation tools that you've got to help this stuff stand out and win. It's going to take those mindset shifts. And like I said, I'm not going to lie, this will take work and commitment. But what we've seen is those agents, those investors, and our company, when you put your head down and go, okay, I'm looking at the long term. I'm looking at how do I build momentum over the long term? How do I build momentum and when my market start to win the conversation? It's not going to take weeks. It could take half a year. It could take a year to completely swarm your market and own it there. But I can guarantee in 12 months, you'll look back and go, man, I made such a great decision to put my head down and to start putting out content and building trust and authority. I knew 6 months in, I was kind of getting discouraged because I wasn't seeing the results, but now everything popped. I've got 30 new pages up on my website. All of them are simple content that didn't take me a lot of time. It just took me making a decision to flip that switch in my mind to go, okay, how do I do things that help me stand out from every other agent in my market, and do it with a tool that helps me do that. So in July, we're going to be doing what we're calling a 30-day challenge. Guys, this is so cheap. Like, Josh and I were talking on here. I'm like, dude, I'm not really going to be selling anything on this call. I'm going to be dropping a lot of knowledge. Carrot can definitely help make all this way easier for you. It could help you save a lot of time, but you don't need Carrot for this. It's going to help you do it way easier. But I said the worst thing I can do is drop all this on them and then not give them an outlet to really actually deploy it. And so what we're doing internally is we've got about 30 agents that already signed up for this internally for our 30-day challenge in July. And we're going to be taking about another 25 or so to round out that 50, 60 people in this cohort. And every single day for a month, we're going to be giving you very simple, short homework. Okay, every single day, it's like, hey, cool, now do this quick thing. And that way we're going to break it down in bite-sized chunks. You or someone on your team can do it. We're going to have a weekly live call that kind of recaps stuff, kind of answers questions. There will be a Facebook group for accountability where all the homework assignments will be put in there every day each week. And that Facebook group will go away after the month, but it's going to be there the whole month. Like I said, there's going to be a daily bite-sized action plan. And our goal is to really help you create momentum and more case studies with this. The only caveat is this. In order to do this challenge, you do have to be a Carrot member, because certain things in here will just be so hard for you to do without our software that it would actually be a big burden on us to do it. We already started to map out our 30-day challenge homework. Now, this might look like a lot, but when you see it, there's going to be probably a 5 to 8 minute video max each day. And then there's going to be a very simple homework item. Sometimes it could literally be take this thing and post this in Facebook and get leads. Like, literally take this thing. It might take you 3 minutes to do it. Okay, some of them are going to take you maybe a couple hours. Pull away and write this page and publish it, and then post it in the Facebook group, and we'll review it. So all you've got to do is, this actually is $200. We're going to waive the $200 for Josh's group. as long as you go join Carrot, see if it's a fit for you. We want to make sure it's a fit for you. We can always hop on a call with you too to see if it's a fit. Doesn't help anyone without making sure it's a long-term fit. But go to clientalchemist.com/challenge, clientalchemist.com/challenge. What this is going to do, it's going to take you just literally to our pricing page. Okay, it's going to take you here, and you need to join at the advanced marketer level. You can always add on IDX later. IDX is only about $50 a month, which really helps supercharge this. You can always downgrade after this, guys. After the 30-day challenge, let's say you're like, I'm not ready for these advanced features. Downgrade to Content Pro to $99 after the 30-day challenge. You've got your add-on IDX, like I said, for $50 a month, and then you're only at $150 a month for this really powerful content marketing tool. So you can always downgrade. But in order to take this challenge, there are some features in Advanced Marketer that are going to make it easier. So come here, join this, and then email me, trevor@carrot.com, and say, hey, I want you in the challenge. We're going to give you that $200 challenge for free. And that starts here in a couple weeks. So we will be closing this off here in the next few days. So all you got to do, guys, is this, literally $149 now, join Carrot. We'll set up an onboarding call with you over here in the next couple weeks. We'll sign you up for the 30-day challenge. We'll get you momentum. If you have a broker provided site, sweet. We might be able to bring some of the stuff over. If you already have a WordPress site, we have a lot of agents who've moved over from their custom WordPress sites and got way better results over here, and they have our content marketing tools. But let me do this right now, man. I'm going to pull up the iPad, and I'm going to share. So once again, that URL, guys, is clientalchemist.com/challenge. I'm going to share.
And the link is in the chat for anybody who's struggling with that. And let me just say, this has been incredible. Just really, yeah, like I hope people understand the level of content that you just shared and the impact it can make, whether or not they choose to implement a plan with Carrot, which Carrot obviously makes it easier. But the idea here, the plan, is unquestionably one that if you implement will change your business and help you create more momentum. And it so nicely ties into so much of what we talk about, recommend, and advocate through our free content and our pro membership. So this has been great, and I can't wait to dig in here with actually building one out on the iPad here.
I love it. I love it. And there's a bunch of questions, guys. People have Playster sites. People have a custom site, things like that. I'll go over that here in a bit. And all those systems are great. Like, I love Playster. The difference is, though, they don't focus on the content marketing side as nearly as deep as we do. And that's the thing. If you truly believe the market vision that I laid out, which I'm 100% all in on that, because I've seen the different perspectives, I'm like, man, and I know how well content works when you do it correctly to build authority. If you truly believe that's where the industry is going, you need a tool that's going there with you. Okay, and so that's kind of what we've had a lot of people switch over from Playster, by the way. So right here, Carrot Authority Builder. This is what I already went over. Yeah, we already went over that, but now you've got this document. So what we're going to do here, guys, is I'm going to take an abbreviated version of this. Okay, because we're not going to fill it all out here. In the real world, like if someone comes in my office as a private client, I'm going to whip out my iPad. I'm going to ask them these questions. I'm going to start writing stuff down. I'm going to send them this PDF then, and they're going to go work on it. Or yes, we do have services. Someone asked, hey, do you have a service where you can set stuff up for you? We do have services that can do all or parts of this for sure. There is work that needs to be done on your end though, because just like I said, I think one flaw that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of agents have is they want the push button, automate, like all this stuff. But can you imagine if us as Carrot, if we went to a company and said, hey, I just want to pay you money, you guys just build out the stuff. They would completely lose all of the essence of what makes Carrot amazing and special, because we chose not to be involved in the content, because we chose to pull back and focus on something else that was shorter term. And so if you're going to do this, you've got to be pretty darn heavily involved in really mapping this stuff out. You've got to be really darn involved in nailing those niches. What you don't have to do is you don't have to actually launch and write the words of the niche of the location page. You don't have to do that. We can do that. Other people can do that stuff for you. That stuff is easy, but you've got to know, you've got to nail your niches. We can coach you through it. And we're going to be doing that on that 30-day challenge. The next thing is it's going to be really hard for us to do video posts for you, for us to go to your house on one of your niches and like whip out a cell phone or whatever and do a video for you. And I think that's just an insecurity a lot of agents have, man. Like, I don't know if you come across this, Josh. I know I had this insecurity originally where I hated my voice on audio and video. I didn't like the way I look. I need to get my one tooth in the middle straightened, and my wife brings it up every now and then. She's like, you need to put the camera higher because your tooth there, and like, just get that fixed. I'm like, I know I do. And we all have these insecurities. But at the end of the day, I've got a mission. I've got a mission that I cannot reach and fulfill that mission of impacting the people I want unless I get over my insecurity of being on video. And like, you guys have to do the same.
Yep.
For sure. So here's what we're going to do first, guys. So mission, what I talked about before, write down, start brainstorming why you love what you do. And I want to challenge you guys here. I do not want you to put in here, I love real estate. Okay. Because my guess is that there's a reason that's further deeper than that. That's more deeper than just I love real estate. Okay. So it could be, like I said, the school teacher thing. Why is it that you love real estate? What part of it? It could be that, I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe you had an amazing real estate agent that helped you through a tough time of your life. And you're like, I want to do the same thing that they're doing. Cool. Tell that story. Okay. When I was 25 years, when I was 32 years old, we went through a foreclosure and and this happened. We were at rock bottom. And you know what? While everyone was turning away from us, there's my friend who was a real estate agent that did this and did this and did this. And they ended up helping us get back on our feet. They sold us our house 7 years later that we're living in, that our family's thriving in. And I want to help more people do the same. Like, what's your story, guys? And this is the thing. This mission should not be, hey, what looks good on a wall. This mission should not be what sounds cool to the market. This mission should not be what's going to make me look cool and experienced versus the other agents out there. This mission should hit you at your core, should fire you up in the morning to get up and do the work that you do. Now, I guarantee even with my mission, I don't wake up every single day loving the tasks that I'm doing. But when I get kind of in that spot where I'm kind of burnt out, I pull back and I go, okay, I read my mission again and I really solidify. I read customer stories where we're helping them. I'm going, okay, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I need to push through and do this work that for these next 2 hours. And maybe I don't want to do, but it's part of the mission. That's what your mission is going to do. Make it short. Number 2, niches. Like I said, what will you focus on? So, Josh, I'm going to toss it at you actually, and we'll kind of riff on it. You can make up stuff or it can be real or whatever. But there in your area, if you were going out there tackling that market as an agent, are there certain types of properties? Are there certain types of buyers or sellers you love working with that pay you well, that you'd love to help them more, that you can be an expert in?
Yeah. So there definitely are. So, and I'm not suggesting that this is what I would go after, but I'm just here. There are like waterfront, creekfront homes, not a ton, but enough that it's potentially a niche. Townhouses or townhomes could potentially be one. New construction homes could be one. Luxury homes for sure. I mean, there's a particularly like in the part of the county that I live in, there is a higher percentage of quote unquote luxury homes in the for our area. That's like 500,000 and up, really. So yeah, I mean, just off the top of my head, those would be a couple that I'd look at.
And dude, and those are perfect, right? And so here's kind of my philosophy on this, guys, is it can either be property types, which are these ones we had mentioned. It could be prospect types, which could be first-time home buyer or people that are looking at downsizing. It's whatever you're passionate about. Like, they should pay you well. You should enjoy doing the work, okay? And you can become an expert on them. Those are what niches are to me. They should pay you well. You should enjoy doing that work, and you can become experts on it. Okay. So these ones here are property specific, which I love. Or you could do, like I said, a prospect specific. So you guys choose what you want to do, or you could mix them up, mix and match. And you don't have to do 3. Let's say you just want to start with 1. You know what? I just absolutely love first-time home buyers. Amazing. Write that down. And then you might later go, you know what? I love first-time home buyers, and a lot of the best homes I sold to first-time home buyers were new construction. And I'll show you guys this here in a bit. When I was talking with an agent here a little bit ago, we started to go down that rabbit hole, and I said, cool, is there a particular builder in town that's just building a ton of homes that you guys are selling a lot of and you love to sell? Like, yeah, definitely. This one, Mid-Oregon Builders, we have like 30 of their listings right now, or whatever the number was, right? And I go, sweet, let's go to Google and see if people are actually typing up Mid-Oregon Builders and searching for them. People were actively searching for Mid-Oregon Builders, Mid-Oregon Builders homes for sale. We're like, no one's owning this. Let's set up a darn location page on Carrot that's titled Mid-Oregon Builders homes for sale, and then do a little thing in the IDX, Delio, that does new construction, or let's see if we can just choose theirs. Oftentimes you can't niche down on everything you want to in IDX. And then let's just do that, and then let's rank that really well. Write some good content, show why we are the ones that should be working with you to buy a home from them. It's like, bam, right there. That's a niche location. That's Mid-Oregon Builders, right? That's like a sub niche. Okay, so now going into here, locations. So your primary. What's the city you're in again, Josh, right now?
So yeah, it's a little weird. Like, I live in a town called Enola, but the township that I live in is not like Enola proper. So like for me, my locations would be 2 zip codes, 2 towns, 1 township, which all are kind of the same area. But we'll just say for these purposes, it would be Enola.
Cool, Enola. So I'll write Enola there, and pardon my spelling, but
Nope.
Enola, let's say that's the primary. And here in Roseburg, it's a small city, right? So Roseburg is the primary city, but then there's Sutherland is another close city with 18,000 people, and there's Winston. Like, if it was me, I'd write Enola. I'd probably, like, if I'm sitting here with that agent, I'm like, sweet, that's your primary. I'm going to circle that bad boy, but then I'm going to write the other ones. There's sub-city 1, sub-city 2, sub-city 3. For the act of this exercise, I'm going to focus on your primary city, the one I circled in red, and you guys can do the same thing there. Then we go, cool, within Enola, what are some of those niche locations? Now, some of these niche locations might literally match your niches, right? It might be waterfront, right? It might be a specific neighborhood, like the Melrose neighborhood here in Roseburg is one that people are searching. It might be Garden Valley, the Garden Valley neighborhood. People are searching for those places. Are there particular locations or neighborhoods, Josh, that jump out to you?
So yeah, I mean the township, but that's still pretty broad. And the way our neighborhoods work they're all relatively smallish. That said, I would commit to doing that. So, even though it might end up being 15, 20, whatever. So I'll just even say my neighborhood, Westbury.
Yep, Westbury, cool. So there's Westbury. Awesome. And I just literally went to Google. You guys can't see this because I'm showing my iPad, but I pulled it up behind the scenes. You guys can do the same thing. I just literally went to Google and typed up Enola, PA, homes for sale. It showed up as a suggested search. And I scrolled down to the bottom, and this is kind of like a cool little free hack you guys can use. I scroll to the bottom to go, what does Google say are other related searches?
Yeah.
And these are important because this is what your prospects right now are searching in Google, y'all. They're not going to Facebook and typing in homes for sale in Marysville, PA. They're doing it in Google, though. And then once they land on your website, you retarget them on Facebook. And then you can also prospect on Facebook and drive them back to your site. You can do it both ways. That's why they're so powerful together. But here it shows, I'm just reading this once again, I'm not showing it right now. It shows homes for sale in Marysville, PA. Cool. If that's around Enola, I'm probably going to create a page called homes for sale in Marysville.
Yep. And it borders Enola. So yeah, right on.
Yeah. Hampton Township, Camp Hill. There's a bunch of stuff like that. And then let's see, I'm going to type in Westbury, Enola.
It's Bury.
Bury, cool. So Westbury Homes. So there's a bunch of Westburys apparently. So Westbury. Okay, cool. People are actually right now typing in Google Westbury Development, Enola, PA. So, and once again, you guys can't see this. I'm just typing in right now. But it looks like there's an HOA there and stuff like that. So there's a potential. I'm not saying that is one for sure, but there's a potential. If I want to focus in on Westbury, I would create a page called Westbury, Enola, PA homes for sale or something like that. And then create, 300 to 500 words on that page, put the IDX on there, follow our Beat Zillow model that you guys can find on our website. We can link it up to you. And make sure it's on a website platform that is optimized for Google, that's going to load fast and all that, and you'll have a chance of ranking well. So you're going to write these down. So what we're going to do with these things now is you're going to go to your website platform and launch a page for Enola and title it Enola, whatever Google tells you, whatever Google suggests tells you, Enola, PA homes for sale. That's the title of the page. Make sure you're working those phrases in. I can show you guys how that works in our system. And then next I would go, cool, now I'm going to make 3 or 4 niche location pages on there. One for waterfront homes, Enola, PA. And I'm just going to type that up right now. Yeah, waterfront homes, Enola, PA literally is popping up as a suggested search. Once again, you guys can't see this. I'm searching it in Chrome behind. You guys have seen my iPad, but you can do the same search. And currently, Josh, no local realtors are ranked anywhere on page 1. They're all nationals. And so there's an opportunity there. Waterfront Homes, Enola, PA, and you would launch a carrot page or whatever it is, optimized for that. And I can show you guys how to do that. So that's one page there. That's another page. That's another page. So we're only talking like, to start 3 to 5 pages that you're going to launch. And these are all niche location pages. Okay. And then next here, I'm just like, I want you guys to write down, this is kind of like about page stuff. This is stuff you'll mention in your content. What other expertise do you have that you can talk about and amplify? As an example, I've got 15 years of experience in ranch and land, or whatever it is. Just kind of like write down, well, I'm this and this, and I've been a teacher for 30 years. And I can like, I can tie that into why that's important for me, helping families find homes. And this is just kind of riff there and brainstorm. So now what we're going to do is now we're going to create our content plan, and we're just going to buzz through this in about 5 minutes, y'all. So we're going to go deeper on the 30-day challenge on this, but in about 5 minutes, we are going to, and there are people saying, hey, can I do the 30-day challenge without carrot? You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. What we'll do is with that, it will be the full $200 for that one. But we'll give you the full 30-day challenge, and you'll be able to do, like I said, most of what we talk about, probably 90% of what we talk about in the 30-day challenge. There's just some of it that's going to take longer and harder. But if any of you guys are interested in it, pop in your email address into that questions panel and say, yes, I can't switch over to Carrot because one person said I'm in a website contract. Sweet. I still want to help you. I don't want to leave you alone here. So it'll just be a couple $100. We'll send you the link somehow. We literally don't have a page set up for that right now. We can make it happen. Okay, cool. So right here, what we're going to do now is we're going to take niche number 1. Okay, we're going to go waterfront homes. Cool. Waterfront homes. Awesome. So what are the problems, questions, objections, things that the people that are looking at waterfront homes have? And I would write those down. Well, there's there's a drinking water situation, like on the North Umpqua River, like where does it come from? So I'm going to teach people that. There's certain waterfront homes and Enola that you kind of want to stay away from these ones because these ones have like a bunch of bugs and it's marshy and your home values don't go up. But these waterfront homes are over here are awesome. So, which bodies of water in Enola are the best or whatever, which creeks are they're going to hold their value the most or whatever, right?
Areas that flood more easily and readily or whatever, more frequently.
So flood zones in Enola, right? So like I'm literally going to go to Google right now, and this is kind of the way that I work, and I just use oftentimes free tools like this, like Google. And once again, you guys can't see this because I'm doing it behind on my zone or my thing, Enola. Yeah, so flood zones, Enola, PA. People are searching for that. So what if you had a series of content or something like that showed that? And then what I'm going to do is literally with those, like I said, I'm just going to go to Google. If you're in a smaller market, some of these Google suggested searches might not show up. If you're in a larger market, they will. But even in Roseburg, they show up. So I'm going to literally go to Google and start to type up phrases that someone is looking for a waterfront home in Enola might search. I'm going to look at the suggested searches at the bottom. I'll demo all this for you guys. And those are literally going to be your titles to your videos. So I'll show you guys this here in a second. So that's your 3 to 5 videos. And you upload these in YouTube. You put them into Facebook as ads or as content. And these go through our video post feature where our thing turns your YouTube video into written articles, just like that one with Denny Cruz and Farm. And then now you've got a 3 to 5 really good videos that people can dive into around buying waterfront homes in Enola. You can use those for retargeting. They're on your website. Hopefully they'll start to rank in Google and start to control that conversation in Google and capture those really high value, highly motivated prospects. There's a lot of things you can do with those things. Okay. The last part here is and I'll show this in real life here in a second, is you always want to make sure that those niche pages in your location pages are capturing a lead. And I really don't like the systems. Like I love Boomtown. Boomtown's an amazing system, but there's certain systems that require that force an opt-in. When you click 2 or 3 times in property listings, it pops up this thing that makes you register on Facebook and Google. Now, in order to see any more properties. Now they work. Like I'm going to tell you, they will get leads. Josh knows that. We all know that they get leads. But what happens is you're losing the opportunity to build trust, credibility, and value with them when you're not letting them click around. Yeah. And we found with our data that the more you can let someone click around, if you have a website that has content, credibility, they're going to learn more about you. They're going to get to know you. They're going to edge closer to wanting to make the decision with you than others. So let them click around on your property listings. Don't force the opt-in after 2 or 3 clicks. Have spots everywhere that they can opt in voluntarily, if they're like, hey, yeah, I want to get on this list. I want to see these types of homes. I do want reminders of what types of, what properties are popping up. That stuff. I'm going to show you guys examples of that. But if you're forcing the opt-in here without letting them see more, what do? You bounce back to Google, you find someone else's website, and you miss a chance to build a relationship with them. So what we suggest is niche value landers. So you take this right here, waterfront homes. I'd do waterfront homes, right? Waterfront homes. So then I'd go, cool, like what are some of the hooks? What are some of the hooks that might be interesting? If someone's looking for waterfront homes, what is something compelling I can give them? Well, one of them is probably like a daily updated list of the most recent waterfront homes for sale. Cool. So I can do a really simple landing page. I'll show you an example of that. Another hook could be, here's waterfront homes under $250,000 in Enola. Another one here's waterfront homes over, under $500,000, whatever it is, whatever those niches are. So blah, 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 under 250. So you can start to niche these down, and then you create that simple landing page. I'll show you an example of it. The last part of this, y'all, is how do you now distribute it? So you're going to take these niche topics. You have your little video titles that you grab from just Google suggested searches. You make sure you say some of those words in the videos. We have a little script that you can follow down here. If you're kind of uncomfortable with video, you have a little script down here that you can follow that helps walk you through kind of what to say. But then you take that video, you upload it to YouTube. Just do it from your cell phone if you want to. That's how I do it. And then you take that YouTube URL, and I'll show you right now. Then you paste it into video post. It automatically turns that into a written article for you, just like you saw with Denny's. Or you can do that yourself. You just submit it to rev.com, pay their fee. It's going to take a few hours to get it back. Then you got to copy it from Rev, paste it, format it, all that. We just take care of it all in an automated way. Take the process from 40 minutes down to 4 minutes. And then after it's in YouTube and you do the video post right here, now you've got content on YouTube, which is the second largest search engine in the world. And you title that, you literally title that, the title that popped there that people were searching in Google, the suggested search. You upload it to video post. You title that what people are actually searching in Google. And then you upload it to Facebook. And you do what Josh teaches you there, because Josh is the Facebook expert. And now here's the aim, guys. Here's the aim, is now you don't have a two-legged stool that's going to fall over. Now you have a three-legged stool. It encompasses where they hang out every day, and you do exactly what Josh teaches you there. And it encompasses the top 2 places that they search for solutions online. And then you can start to capture more of that traffic away from Zillow, build credibility, build authority, and win the market. So I'm going to share. I want to go back and we'll answer questions now, man, if you're cool with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I've been kind of monitoring and addressing some of them individually with folks who had like very specific questions as well on stuff I was aware of anyway. Cool.
So let me log in here really quick. I'm just going to go into the back end of this site here. Just to kind of show you all some things. So that's not a view that you guys will have, but I've got it. So this is kind of what you'll see first. If there are any Carrot members on here, I'm giving you guys kind of a little refresher on how to use this. If not, there are people asking kind of how does this work? And that way you can kind of compare, hey, is this going to help you do what you want to do better? But the first thing is you got the dashboard here. You can check out all of your stats. You can see where your traffic's coming from, what pages they're visiting, where your traffic's coming from. Are they coming from Google search or social or whatever? Mobile percentage, all that fancy stuff. You can see your leads. We don't have like a full CRM as far as automation. That's coming in 2020 as far as email, text automation. But you can pop in here, and this one literally came right here, this River Home list one. This came through the 25th. Today is today the 26th? This came through yesterday then? It tells you the source came from a Google search. So this is exactly the process I just walked you through. Guys, these types of buyers are really valuable here because our home was a $600,000 home. We're putting $200,000 in renovation into it. This is a commission. Like, that's a good sized commission. And the only way that they would have found the G team, if they didn't already know them personally, was this Google search. And now I know that they're interested in homes in the North Umpqua, South Umpqua. They're not interested on the Umpqua River, because that's the form that we created. We created a custom form for that particular niche to just ask some certain questions. And this was the page that they landed on, okay, to actually opt in. And this is the niche value lander that I talked about. The niche value lander is actually linked up on this page. So this is what they did. They literally did a Google search. North Umpqua River homes. Look at that, for sale. Okay, I'm a buyer. I'm looking for homes there. I click this first. I'm probably going to click the Zillow ones too, but the problem with the Zillow ones is it's just going to show me properties. It's not going to show me who I should work with. So I'm going to click this. Oh man, that's an amazing picture. Cool. Awesome. There's good content. It talks about why they're an amazing expert. They live in the river. They've sold a ton of homes in the river. This is set up using our model. They actually chose to have our writers write this for them, but we have a lot of our clients who just follow our model and do the writing themselves on these pages. But this is how that person actually opted in. Is we put a link here to a landing page, and then at the bottom of this page we have this custom form that we set up for this niche that says access the river homes list. So rather than forcing them to opt in and then causing them to go, man, this is a scammy looking site, I'm going to bounce back to Google and find something else that doesn't force me to opt in. Can you imagine if Zillow forced everyone to opt in after clicking up a couple properties? Dude, people wouldn't use Zillow. They would go use something else.
Yeah.
But Zillow gives you the option of opting in. They give you the option of saving properties, so people keep on going back. So right here, they joined this list, or they clicked this and went to this simple landing page. And you guys might be going, that landing page doesn't look all that great. We tested crazy pretty landing pages. These simple ones converted the best, especially on mobile. You know, it's easy to fill out, converts really, really well. So that's kind of the flow of that. Let's answer a bunch of questions, man.
Yeah, so a bunch of people asked about a replay. As soon as this video is rendered and ready to go, I will send it out to all the attendees. It'll be later tonight or first thing in the morning, because there was a lot to digest here. I understand completely why people were asking. I had a bunch of people ask that, so I wanted to address that. One that I think you were going to revisit, and we kind of did, but just to clarify, is making area specific pages and then even running Google ads pointing to those pages as well. And that just kind of, it all amplifies together. And something, a program that we created recently was all around retargeting. And the cool thing is, the first part of that program is all about laying the foundation, which for us is making sure that we've got all the appropriate tags and pixels and so forth installed on your site, in this case on a Carrot site, so that you can retarget people that land on either specific pages or just on your site in general. You can pull them back through Google ads, through YouTube videos, through Twitter ads, through Facebook ads, and Bing ads. You can do all of that very strategically and get a much greater ROI, because you're calling back people that you've already started to build a relationship and rapport with.
Exactly. And one thing, I was talking with the largest broker in Brentwood, California yesterday, a client of ours. She moved over from a custom site to Carrot, got way better performance. And we basically were talking about the Google pay-per-click side, because she's like, yeah, we've tried the Google pay-per-click side. I've heard so many agents say, man, the Google pay-per-click side just isn't working. And you can see this. I did this search for a specific area in town, and then you can see that's like, I don't know who this is, but this right here is a local agent. This right here is why Google AdWords doesn't work for most people for these niche searches. I'm going to click this. I don't know how much it's costing her. I'm sorry I'm clicking this. Next time I see you, I'll buy you a coffee. I know who she is. But so I clicked this, and can you imagine? So I was searching for Melrose homes for sale. That's what's on my mind as a buyer there, right? And you can do the same stuff for sellers, guys. Like, look at this. If I were to go to, and I'm just doing this all in Roseburg, but I can do this in other cities and show you guys how it's working in other cities too. But sell my house, Roseburg, okay. What pops up here? A bunch of ads. Let's see. I'm just going to click the Kelly group. Sorry, Mr. Kelly. I just clicked your ad. But look at this. G Styles. That's a Carrot site, #1 in Google. This here's actually an investor client of ours, #2 in Google. The same investor client, #3 in Google. G Team is #5. This is another client of ours, #8 or whatever that is. That's another client of ours. That's not a client of ours. It's like 3/4 of the page are controlled by our clients for sellers too. Okay, so the same thing works for sellers. You just have to do the same thing I just did, just find out what they're motivated with. So this ad I clicked here for sellers, free equity checkup. What's the mindset I'm in as a seller? Okay, I'm looking to sell my house. At this point, I didn't really do a search yet for best real estate agents. I'm not like specifically looking for an agent yet, right? I'm just like, hey, I need to sell my house. What do I need to do? I'm starting really broad. So I land here, free equity checkup. Instant online estimates are rarely accurate. Cool. I like this. So this works. Now, there's some things that would make this convert way better, because most of those people are probably doing this search on their cell phone. And this right here is not very conducive to a cell phone experience. So you're probably going to convert, half as much as you should in this particular page, because it's not set up to convert, especially on the cell phone. They're probably losing half their leads. But now let me go show you the other one that I had up over here. This one here, where was it? Is this one. So if I'm a buyer and I'm typing Melrose, Roseburg homes for sale, and I land here, there's nothing unique about this that's wanting me to keep and work with this company. There's no faces on here. It doesn't feel like there's any personalization. It feels like any darn agent in the Berkshire Hathaway system anywhere in the world would likely have a page just like this. I scroll down here. These are just all over Roseburg. These aren't even specific to.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's not even specific to the search that you.
Not at all, man. Not even specific to Melrose. And so I can click around on these, and I don't know. I haven't done this for a while. I don't know if it's going to force me to opt in or not. The page looks fine. Like this page is okay. The page is fine. What I'm saying is so look at this. It's like a stock photo image of her. Oh man. This isn't building, like every single agent in Roseburg can do this exact. This is how you become commoditized, y'all. This right now is how you become commoditized. Mortgage brokers know this as good as anyone. Someone in here posted a comment saying, "Does this work for mortgage professionals?"
Yeah.
It technically could. Like we have people using Carrot for all kinds of different things, but you'd have to go in there and kind of like rewrite all the content yourself, kind of change the pages around. So yes, this would work. You could use our content marketing tools. You would just have to go in there and customize all the content for mortgage. But you could totally do it. That totally works. But mortgage professionals they know what happened, because what they were doing is everything would say, hey, get an instant rate quote, the same darn rate quote that every other broker would have. So they're all competing on rate at that point. Their commission's getting compressed because they're competing on rate. But if you had a mortgage broker website that had a bunch of content, talked about FHA loans, talked about this, and it had videos of you, and you were walking through how to fill out a mortgage application. You're walking through, like you're being transparent. You're showing them, hey, one of the things that a lot of people don't like about mortgage brokers and used car salesmen, like make a joke out of it, is that no one knows how much money we're making. You know what? I'm going to show you what a rate sheet looks like. I'm going to actually show you how we make money. And this is what I'm going to actually show you when you come work with us. I'm going to show you our darn rate sheet. I'm going to show you, we've got to make money. I want to work with people that understand I'm in business. I'm here to help you, help add value to you. So I've got to make money, but I want to make it a fair amount. Here's how we do it. If you want to work with us, if you like transparency, fill this out. I'll give you a rate quote. I'll show you exactly how much money we're making, and we'll guide you through it and make this easy for you. Can you imagine landing on that? Like I'd work with them all day. So that's the problem here, is their ad is not going to work. Okay, this ad is not going to perform for them because it's not specific. But if I were to drive to, like if it's a seller ad and it's driving to a page that's specific to Discovery Bay, cool. That's a good thing. This client, Krista out of Brentwood, she sells 130, 150 homes a year down in Brentwood, California. One thing that's worked really well for her is she just goes into our system and she launches a bunch of landing pages on our system that are specific for those home value dealios in neighborhoods or parts of the area. So you go down here to landing pages. We're actually redoing the landing page builder as we speak, but you can see that she has one for Discovery Bay and one for Brentwood and one for spacious single-story homes and one for this and Oakley and all these. And she's getting a lot of leads from them through Facebook ads done one specific way. Now, a lot of people are probably going, home value lead ads don't work. They do when you do it the right way, especially if you hand deliver the CMA. A lot of people just take the CMA, they email it to them, and then they go, man, these are all just tire kickers. But if you literally take the CMAs and daily or every other day, you put it in a box or a package, and you go and knock on the door and say, hey, this is Marcia, agent, and you submitted your information on our site the other day, and I just want to hand deliver your property value report. And if you have any questions, also let me know. Here's a little bag for you, a couple little kind of cool goodies. I know it's hot out right now. Here's a little $5 gift card to the ice cream shop down the road. Hit me up, have an awesome day, and then leave. Like, that stuff is winning. That stuff is actually making it to our home value pages are winning and getting listings like nothing right now. You got to stand out. And if you look at the same reason that works, the same reason that works is the same reason I'm talking about that the content stuff works, because others aren't doing it. They're standing out. Everyone else is being commoditized by just sending you an email and saying, here's a report that I automatically generated through the system that I'm not adding any personality to. And now I'm going to drip you a bunch of automated emails that also have no personality, that also don't show any of my expertise. And you're going to end up working with someone else. I'm going to be mad that those leads didn't work. That's what happens with most agents.
Yep. Okay, a couple of more bite-sized questions here. I lost okay, I'm in. We had a number of people excited to get started, so that's really cool. Let's see here. Can you help me with my domain name? Right now it's being redirected. It seems to be messed up. If you're switching over to Carrot, yeah, I'm not sure if you were asking Lori because you're jumping in here and switching to Carrot, or if you meant for your existing. But if you're switching to Carrot, I guess just a domain question, because I see on day 2 of the challenge outline, you all can help with that. Do you map it? Do you redirect it? What do you all recommend, and how do you help with that?
Yep, for sure, man. So what we do here, guys, is I'll just show you really quick. Actually, I'll log into the back of a site. You bring your own domain. Okay, you bring your own domain. Where are we at here? So many pages open, dude. Where are we at? Bam, there we go. So you'll bring your own domain. You'll buy it from GoDaddy or Namecheap or wherever the heck you want to buy a domain for. I'm going to lower my desk. I've been standing for too long. And then what you'll do is we have a tutorial that can walk you guys through how to attach it to your Carrot site, or our support team can help you with it. So that's just something we can help you with. But it's all here under the settings page. You go down to custom domain, and then her domain is already attached, but you would just add in your domain there. And we do automatic SSL certificates. So as soon as you attach your domain, bam, you have an SSL certificate that is free. That alone usually costs between 50 and 80 bucks a year and a bunch of time. That's all automated, takes half a second, and you don't even think about it or pay for it. It's included.
Yeah, sweet.
Yep.
There's a number of questions that are all, there are a number of questions that are addressed if you just go ahead and check out the link in the chat, that clientalchemist.com/challenge. You're going to want to get signed up for the advanced marketer package, which is $149 per month. That's how you get access to the 30-day challenge. You can downgrade to the $99 per month after that if you choose, but a number of people asking like what's included, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of things that are answered when you just go to the link and just kind of dig around there. You'll get a lot of those more technical questions.
And I'll show a couple things, because I know this comes up a lot, and guys, we're modifying a lot of stuff. We're taking a lot of feedback from agents. We've got a lot of big improvements coming out. We're really excited. I mean, our product works really good right now, but being frank, there are some things that could be easier to use. And it's like you always have to sacrifice performance for ease of use. And if you're to look at Wix, right, Wix.com, Wix is crazy easy to use, but it's not going to perform very well. And they make it easy to use, drag and drop, but you sacrifice performance. So when we're focusing on performance, then you sacrifice some ease of use a little bit. And so what we're doing now is we've hired even more engineers. We're going, cool, how do we have a better joining of both? And so you guys are going to see a bunch of improvements coming out. There's people asking, do we integrate with LionDesk? Do we integrate with these other systems? As long as those tools integrate with Zapier. So as long as they integrate with Zapier.com, and we will likely in the future create direct integrations with some of the more popular ones. But as long as those tools integrate with Zapier, let's put up LionDesk here. My guess is that LionDesk is in here. If LionDesk is in here, then yes, we can send your leads to LionDesk. So it looks like Zapier allows you to instantly connect. Yeah, so it looks like you can send your leads from Carrot to LionDesk. And our support team can help you set that up for sure. Let's see. There were a couple other questions on does your system, like, can I move away from my current website and start from scratch in your system? That's what our system does. So if you go to that page that Josh had mentioned, the two plans here, what the main difference is this is a great starter plan. Neither one of these include IDX by default, but you can add on IDX for just about $50 a month. Plus whatever the pass-through fees are that your local IDX charges. A lot of local MLS things don't charge anything for pass-through. Some of them charge $2 a month, $6 a month. There's a couple that are crazy and charge like $30 a month just for the pass-through fee. But you can pick one of these and go, cool, yep, I want a high converting website. And I'll show you guys what that looks like. You get our SEO tools, great support, that simple lead manager I showed you, but then you can connect it through Zapier with your other lead manager if you want to. We have weekly coaching calls. You can track up to 3 SEO rankings. So this is kind of like a good starter. And then we have our automated content marketing tools. I'll show you that. This one here, you just get more of everything, plus discounts on our in-house services. So if we're going to build out your website for you, do all the design, have our copywriter come in there and write all the words for you, then you'll be able to get 10% off that service with this. You get access to certain custom design or more unique design styles that this plan doesn't have, help you stand out. You can get on a quarterly strategy call with us, extra automated content, more keywords to track, things like that. But like I said, the important thing, I don't want anyone to in 3 weeks go, hey, I thought this included IDX. I've said it a bunch of times, IDX is a la carte. A lot of agents we surveyed, they're like, we're gonna do it without IDX. We made it an option. We didn't want to force it in. And so you could join this, add in the IDX for just $50 a month plus whatever the pass-through fees are. So you'd be around $200 a month, which is still way cheaper than any other tool out there that even tries to sniff what our content marketing tool set does. And then like Josh said, you can then later downgrade to $99 a month plus the $50 a month. So you'd be at $150 in total, which is an amazing bargain for what you get. As soon as you would log in, let me find that page again. As soon as you'd log in, you'd launch your website. So you'd click a link, choose your website design. Then you can come down here to the design tab and actually choose, hey, which design do I want to use? Like I said, if you're in the advanced marketer plan, you have this premium design. We have another premium design coming out here this quarter, which is really cool. All these are amazing on mobile. They convert really well on all devices. You can pick your design, you can preview it, you can upload your logo, you can change your colors, you can change all that stuff in there. And then you'd kind of go into getting your content updated. So you'd pop over here to content, or you just go to the front end of your website and you're going to see a little edit bar up top. So if you click around the pages and you're on the home page, you're going to see an edit bar at the top. Oh, cool, I'm just going to click that. But let's see, you want to adjust your about page. And this is all stuff we'll go into in that 30-day challenge. You'd pop over here and just edit it. We've got a big innovation coming out in next quarter that's essentially visual editing. So you'll be able to see what the page looks like while you're editing it. That's going to come out next quarter. But you come in here, add images, add videos if you want to. And then we have our SEO tool down here. Put in whatever keyword you're looking to rank for. Our system then will walk you through what you need to do to get it to rank better. And set up landing pages if you want to. Your location pages, that's our location page builder right here. So you just set up location pages like she has. Add testimonials in here. I'm just show you guys one last thing. Is we have a tool that we call our feature property tool. And there's a lot of properties that you have that are maybe some of your kind of core listings that you want to make sure that you're able to put a more custom feel towards that. You don't want to send people just to the MLS listing. So these right here are her MLS listings. So I'm going to click on that. This is coming straight from the IDX. Okay, so this is coming straight from the IDX. It's going to be amazing on mobile. Works great there. This one just, like I said, just straight grab the information from the IDX. Okay, schools, map, walk, score, mortgage calculator, all that stuff. Home value landing page, all that stuff, okay? But if you want to add a bigger flair to it, you're like, man, I want a drone video on this thing, I want a tour, whatever, then you'd use our featured property listing tool. You can see the listing looks a lot the same. There's a couple things that are a little bit different and better. You can put all your photos in here, all that stuff. It's gonna be amazing on mobile. But then she puts videos on here. You can type in whatever you want to type in to sell it. You can put in more custom information. She does a whole tour in here. And so if you're doing Facebook ads or posting on Facebook, I would suggest, for at least for your better property listings, I would suggest not driving them to your IDX. I would drive them to something where you can put that more flair to it. Put that video, put that tour on it. So set up those featured listing pages for your fancier listings that you want to put more attention to, that you're going to put an ad budget behind.
100%, 100%. So I have a hard out because of an appointment,
Yep.
but I want to address one or two more things here. Remind everybody where they can go to take advantage of this offer, and then thank you for your time. But number one, there was a couple of people that asked something to the effect of, I struggle with technology. What you can see from Trevor using the site, and from I haven't even mentioned, I have a Carrot site for my my land investing business. So I'm somebody that uses the platform as well. It's very intuitive. It's very straightforward with how to use it, and their support is fantastic. They're incredibly helpful, and will sort of get their hands dirty to help you. It's not just it's not the typical support experience that you may have had with other website platforms, because I've heard from many other folks that they take that very seriously, and you can you can experience that as you go through and take the 30-day challenge, but understand that that's part of their mission, is really helping folks. So they will take great care of you, and make sure that technology hurdles or lack of being technologically advanced won't keep you from using the platform, and being able to implement the 30-day challenge, and the best practices, et cetera. So,
Yep.
yeah, so the link again is clientalchemist.com/challenge. It is also in the chat. I apologize that I have to run, but let me say this. If you had or have a question that still was not resolved, feel free to reply to the email that led you here. You got invited by me, most likely. So one of the confirmation emails, whatever, just reply, or just email josh@clientalchemist.com. Send over your question, and I'll make sure that we get with Trevor, and answer any and all of those questions for you, if you still have them as well. And Trevor, I cannot thank you enough for you to take 2 hours of your day to share all of this with our audience. Is really humbling for me, because I know that you are someone that has a lot to do, that has a lot on their plate, and though you have a great team, you certainly could have been doing other things with that 2 hour time. So the fact that you took that amount of time to share all of this with us, with our community, is incredible, and extremely appreciated by me, and all of those who attended. With that said, anything you'd like to leave our folks with as parting words?
Man, I just appreciate the heck out of you for inviting me on here. And like I said, I get pumped about this stuff. And I'll finish it with this. There's a lot of questions where people are saying, "What is my email?" I've been trying to respond to you guys individually in there, but after you do that, if you want to join the challenge, hit me up, Trevor@carrot.com. Like I said, even if you can't switch over to Carrot and you want to join the challenge, email me and we'll figure out a way. It will be the full $200 though if you're not able to switch to Carrot. But Trevor@carrot.com. But then last is this, man, is this strategy, like I said, is not push button. It's not, hey, I'm going to push a button, step away, and not do the work. This is going to take work. It's going to take commitment. But the thing is, y'all, this is changing the way you do marketing. This is changing the way you do marketing to get ahead of the market, to get ahead of the changes, to beat the technology, do things that the big players in technology can't automate. That's how you win. And so it's going to take work. It's going to take commitment. The 30-day challenge is going to take work, but I can promise you're going to look back and be pumped that you put in that time. So we're pumped to be able to work with whoever. Hit me up, Trevor@carrot.com, if you have any questions. I'll connect you with someone on our team. And Josh, thank you, man. Be pumped to bring. Actually, I'm coming on another call with you to do land stuff, which would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome as well. So thank you. Great stuff. As I said, we'll get the replay out as soon as I get the video rendered later tonight, first thing tomorrow morning at the latest. Check out clientalchemist.com/challenge. Hop in, take advantage of that. What Trevor put together for us. Thank you all, and we'll talk again real soon.
Amazing. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.